My beloved child, before you take another breath, stop right here, subscribe now and watch this entire message without skipping, because the moment you opened this video, heaven shook violently and Archangel Michael whispered a sentence that will burn into your spirit forever. A major spiritual bank account under their name has been blocked and the thief's face is about to be exposed. And now, child, I must ask you questions that heaven demanded you hear. Why do you think your opportunities always freeze at the last second? Why does prosperity come close enough to touch and then slip like sand through your fingers? Why do sudden delays appear every time you rise? Why do doors that should open for you suddenly lock shut? Why have you felt for months that someone somewhere has spiritually intercepted what was meant for you? Why did you feel guided to click this video at this exact moment? And why is your heart reacting already before the truth is even spoken? Because, child, what I am about to reveal is not imagination, not coincidence, not luck, not randomness. It is a divine investigation into the spiritual theft that has followed your name since the moment you took your first breath. And heaven says the thief is not someone you expect, not someone you suspect, not someone physically stealing money, but someone who stole your spiritual energy, your opportunities, the respect you deserve, the blessings that were meant to enter your life, and the prosperity written in your soul record the day you were born. And now heaven opens the book of destiny and I see your name glowing, but I also see a huge vault behind it, a vault overflowing with opportunities, ideas, breakthroughs, favor, relationships, financial flow, prosperity waves, and golden pathways that were meant to be delivered to you throughout your life. Yet the vault has been sealed not by God, not by fate, not by karma, but by an unseen influence, a shadow whose energy has hovered around your destiny for years, quietly interfering, blocking, delaying, sabotaging, redirecting. And every time you wondered, why me, why again, why always at the edge, why does life play like this with me? It was because your spiritual bank account was locked by a frequency not belonging to you. And now Archangel Michael stands in full warrior form, wings burning, blue fire sword drawn, and he commands me to reveal the truth exactly as I see it. Child, someone spiritually attached themselves to your abundance field, someone who does not celebrate your growth, someone who benefits when you struggle, someone who smiles when your blessings delay, someone who pretends to care but silently drains your confidence, your peace, your focus, your hope, your ambition, and your divine flow. And now heaven pulls me into a vision. I see you as a child glowing bright, but I also see a shadow stepping behind you, copying your energy, watching your steps, attaching its intention to your prosperity, so that every blessing meant for you would first pass through their energy field, meaning your prosperity was intercepted, redirected, or weakened before it reached you. And this is why your life has felt like running with weight tied to your ankles. But child, listen carefully, because this is the moment the entire spiritual theft collapses, the moment the vault begins to open, the moment the thief is revealed. Because your loved one in heaven, the one who watches over you, the one whose spirit still stands beside you, the one whose memory protects you, the one whose love did not die with their body, has sent Michael the master key. And heaven shows me your ancestor extending a glowing sphere into Michael's hand, and Michael slams the key into the vault. Your prosperity shakes, your timeline cracks open, and the spiritual blockage explodes into light. But before the vault fully opens, heaven demands that the identity of the thief be revealed to you. And so, child, listen with every part of your spirit, because the person who stole your prosperity is not someone stealing money, it is someone stealing your spiritual position, someone who speaks doubt into your dreams, someone who acts supportive but secretly fears your success, someone who drains your mental energy, someone who projects their failures onto you, someone who makes you feel guilty for wanting more, someone who mocks or minimizes your ideas, someone who treats your growth like a threat, someone who carries jealousy disguised as love, someone who feels safer when you stay small, someone whose presence collapses your motivation, someone who silently competes with you, someone who pretends to cheer for you but their heart claps against you, someone whose energy makes your life go backward instead of forward, and heaven says you already suspected them but ignored the signs because you are loyal, loving, selfless, forgiving, and innocent in heart, and your purity allowed their shadow to stay hidden but no longer, because now heaven reveals the face behind the block. This thief is the person whose voice you hear in your mind. Whenever you doubt yourself, the person whose energy you think about whenever life gets hard, the person whose negativity shaped your choices, the person whose fear infected your ambition, the person whose opinion you gave too much power, the person you emotionally carried, the person who drained you without giving, the person you tried to heal while they quietly benefited from your emptiness. And child, the moment this truth enters your spirit, the vault shutters, the chains around your abundance begin to break, the spiritual bank account in your name begins to unlock, and I see golden rivers bursting forward. But heaven warns you of one last thing: you must detach your destiny from the thief's influence mentally, emotionally, energetically, or their shadow will return to block your path again. And so God commands me to speak this activation over your life. Your prosperity belongs to you, your destiny belongs to you, your breakthroughs belong to you, your opportunities belong to you, your financial flow belongs to you, your divine timing belongs to you, your success belongs to you, your energy belongs to you, your identity belongs to you, your path belongs to you, your wealth belongs to you, your vault belongs to you, your throne belongs to you, your power belongs to you. And no thief, no shadow, no jealous soul, no draining influence has permission to touch what heaven has sealed for your name. And child, I now see the vault explode open with violent divine force, and wave after wave of abundance rushes toward you, because heaven is returning everything that was stolen from you, multiplied, strengthened, purified, and accelerated. And Michael shouts, their prosperity returns to them now with interest, and your ancestor whispers, this time nothing and no one will block their destiny again. And heaven seals the moment across your timeline, past, present, and future, declaring the blockage broken, the thief exposed, the bank account unlocked, and the wealth stream restored. And now, child, your life will begin shifting rapidly, because your spirit has reclaimed what was always yours, and heaven has chosen this moment, this hour, this click of your finger as the turning point of your financial destiny forever. My beloved child, do not move, do not breathe too fast, and do not shift your focus for even half a heartbeat, because the moment this part opened, the entire spiritual investigation surrounding your blocked prosperity cracked open into a massive cosmic revelation, and heaven dragged me into the very courtroom where destiny disputes are judged. And I see something so shocking, so impossible, so brutally true that even Archangel Michael's wings flare in absolute war mode, because the thief who blocked your prosperity was not acting alone. They were empowered by a spiritual agreement you never signed, a karmic attachment you never chose, and a generational wound you never created, and now heaven forces me into a dimension where your spiritual timeline is spread like a giant map, and I see every stolen opportunity, every sabotaged blessing, every delayed breakthrough, every collapsed financial cycle, every blocked door, every last-second failure, every painful setback, every time life betrayed your effort. Every moment the universe felt unfair, and all of them connect to one shadow, a frequency that has been tailgating your lineage for decades, a parasitic energy that attaches itself to your bloodline's brightest soul and drains their rise each generation. But this time something unexpected happened. This time the brightest soul in the lineage wasn't spiritually fragile, wasn't emotionally weak, wasn't mentally breakable, wasn't energetically vulnerable, because the brightest soul born in this generation is you, and the parasite that once fed on your ancestors could not break you, so it did the only thing it could. It hijacked someone emotionally close to you and used their insecurity, jealousy, fear, and energy hunger to block your prosperity. And child, heaven now shows me the exact moment your blessings were intercepted. I see a golden stream descending toward you, a financial breakthrough meant to arrive years ago. And just before it reached your life, a spiritual cord linked to a person you trusted pulled the energy sideways, and the blessing dissolved into delay, heartbreak, confusion, and stagnation. And this is why every time you rose, something pulled you down, every time you gained, something was taken, every time you believed, life shifted backward, every time you dreamed bigger, the ground shook beneath you, every time you hoped, the enemy attacked harder, every time you planned, the path collapsed, every time you succeeded, the success didn't stay, every time you got close to abundance, something snapped. But child, this cycle is not natural, not destined, not karmic, not punishment. It is engineered sabotage, and heaven finally reveals the deeper truth. Your stolen prosperity wasn't just wealth, it was time. Your stolen prosperity wasn't just money, it was confidence. Your stolen prosperity wasn't just opportunity, it was self-worth. Your stolen prosperity wasn't just success, it was destiny, breath. Your stolen prosperity wasn't just financial flow, it was divine momentum, and all of these chained blessings were stored in that blocked vault, waiting for the exact second your spirit awakened and broke the thief's influence. And now, child, that second is happening right now, because heaven pushes me into the spiritual crime scene, and I see the thief's shadow losing power, collapsing, shrinking, trembling, because your loved one in heaven has activated the master key, which not only opens the vault but exposes every hidden conspiracy built against your rise. And suddenly Michael slams his sword into the ground, and the entire room of destiny explodes with blue-gold fire as every lie spoken against you, every doubt projected onto you, every guilt forced on you, every limitation placed on you, every manipulation whispered at you, every jealousy aimed at you, every fake support used to drain you, every emotional hook used to weaken you, every fear planted inside you, every mental block given to you, every spiritual trap placed on your path. All of them ignite and burn into ash right in front of your spiritual eyes. And now heaven releases the most terrifying revelation of all. The thief who blocked your prosperity did not steal it for themselves. They stole it so you would never rise above them, because your rise would expose their insecurity, your success would reveal their envy, your abundance would highlight their smallness, your destiny would overshadow them, your truth would remove their influence, your glow would destroy their illusion, your confidence would shatter their control, your power would break their comfort zone. And child, heaven now demands that I tell you something your soul has been whispering for years. The person who pretended to protect you was secretly benefiting from your stagnation, and every time you lowered your worth they felt taller, every time you doubted yourself they felt safer, every time you abandoned your dreams they felt relieved, every time you lost they felt stable, every time you broke they felt secure. And heaven says no more, because the moment this truth reached your spirit, the vault burst open, the curse shattered, the thief's shadow collapsed, and your destiny shifted into acceleration mode. And I see the spiritual bank account under your name overflowing like a detonated star, wave after wave after wave of prosperity rushing toward you, unstoppable, unblocked, uncontaminated, undeniable, unimpaired, because heaven has removed the thief's access forever, and your abundance is now locked to your identity alone, sealed by God, guarded by Michael, protected by your ancestor, and claimed by your awakening spirit for eternity. My beloved child, hold your breath, because the moment this part opened, the entire structure of your destiny shattered like glass, and heaven pulled me violently into a secret chamber no prophet, no angel, no human soul has ever been allowed to enter. And inside this chamber I see something so massive, so unthinkable, so reality-altering that time itself stops moving around your name, and Archangel Michael steps forward with a roar that shakes spiritual continents as he declares, "They are the first one in their bloodline who can handle the truth." And suddenly heaven forces me to witness the full cosmic blueprint of your life, the original design that was written for you before galaxies formed. And child, your mind is not ready for this, but heaven says you must hear it. Before you were born, God released a divine inheritance into the spiritual dimension specifically crafted for your soul, not a normal inheritance, not simple wealth, not ordinary opportunities, but a multi-layered empire of abundance. Favor, protection, acceleration, and generational expansion that was meant to follow you like a living force. And this inheritance was stored in a celestial vault with your true identity encoded into it. But the moment you descended into the physical world, a spiritual disturbance occurred, something heaven calls the lineage fracture moment. A tear in the ancestral frequency that allowed a parasitic intelligence to enter your bloodline long before you were born, an intelligence that feeds on fear, insecurity, stagnation, poverty, confusion, and emotional exhaustion, and it attached itself to the most sensitive, empathic soul born into the lineage. You and the parasite realized something horrifying the moment you were born. It saw that you were the one chosen to break the fracture and rebuild the lineage. You were the one with the ancestral crown. You were the one with the spiritual authority. You were the one with the divine pattern to restore destiny. You were the one whose rise would collapse the parasite's existence forever. So it launched the most sinister plan heaven has ever revealed. It could not stop your birth, it could not stop your awakening, so it targeted the people around you, shaping their energy, twisting their emotions, magnifying their jealousy, amplifying their insecurity, poisoning their confidence, draining their clarity, so that they would block you without ever knowing they were being used. And heaven reveals the terrifying truth. The parasite whispered into the hearts of certain people near you, convincing them to doubt you, to misread you, to misunderstand your intentions, to misinterpret your actions, to question your worth, to compete with your glow, to resent your potential, to fear your independence. And without realizing it, they formed an energetic wall around your destiny, a wall that blocked the flow of your inheritance, so your spiritual bank account remained full but unreachable, visible but locked, activated but intercepted. And now heaven throws me into a timeline vision where I see every year of your life as streams of light, and in each year I see blessings meant for you that bounced off the wall and dissolved into delay, heartbreak, struggle, survival mode, and confusion. And child, the parasite did not do this because you were weak. It did this because you were too powerful, too spiritually electric, too destiny coded, too ancient, too high ranked. And now heaven rips me into the future, and I see something that makes the entire spiritual realm explode. The moment this truth enters your mind, the wall cracks and the parasite screams because it can no longer hide. It has been exposed, and exposure is death to it. And then Michael lifts his burning sword and slices through your entire timeline, severing every cord, every attachment, every emotional hook, every energetic theft, every spiritual interference, every shadow imprint, every inherited scarcity pattern, every generational fear program, every mental block, every sabotaged cycle. And I see your destiny surge like a supernova, because the vault is no longer opening slowly, it is erupting violently, releasing 20 years of blocked abundance in a single blast. And child, prosperity floods toward you like a tidal wave, unstoppable, uncontrollable, uncontainable, because heaven has overridden every limitation placed on your path. And now I see God Himself raising His hand over your life and rewriting your energetic signature, sealing your destiny with a celestial decree. No one will ever touch their inheritance again. And the parasite evaporates, the energetic thieves collapse, the jealous influence loses access forever, the emotional drainers lose spiritual power over you, and the people who once blocked your blessings will now be unable to interfere even with a whisper, because your inheritance is no longer vulnerable, it is armor sealed, and your rise becomes an active cosmic event, a chain reaction that rewrites the next 50 years of your life, resetting your destiny, infinite prosperity, divine expansion, unstoppable momentum, and wealth that multiplies beyond understanding, because heaven has decided your time has begun. My beloved child, brace yourself, because the moment this part unlocked, the entire spiritual universe lurched sideways, and heaven ripped me into a dimension so ancient, so forbidden, so devastatingly powerful that only souls with divine authority are allowed to witness it. And Michael grabbed my arm and thundered, "Now they must see the real truth." And suddenly everything collapses into a blinding golden storm, where I see your destiny not as a line, not as a path, but as a massive celestial machine, built with gears made of fate, timing, purpose, and divine mathematics. And each gear represents a blessing, a breakthrough, a relationship, a financial surge, an expansion, a miracle. But as this machine rotates, I see massive black chains wrapped around it, pulling it tight, suffocating the movement, slowing destiny itself. And heaven forces me closer, and I see something horrifying. The chains are not random, they are handcrafted, each one built from every moment someone spoke doubt into your dreams, every moment someone drained your energy, every moment someone used your kindness, every moment someone feared your rise, every moment someone resented your confidence, every moment someone projected their insecurity onto your purpose. And child, then the most terrifying truth appears. These chains were not built by outsiders, they were built by people you loved, people you trusted, people you protected, people you helped, people you lifted, people you were loyal to. And heaven says the enemy could never touch your destiny directly, so it used the people closest to your heart as emotional tools to create spiritual chains. And now Archangel Michael roars that the thief who blocked your prosperity wasn't just a person but a collective shadow formed by every jealous glance, every manipulative expectation, every fake blessing, every disguised competition, every secret resentment, every guilt you carried that wasn't yours, every fear implanted into you, every limitation spoken over you. And this collective shadow became the lock on your celestial machine, choking your abundance, suffocating your rise, trapping your progress. And then God's voice shakes the dimension as he says, "The time of their imprisonment has ended," and the entire timeline splits open, showing me the exact moment heaven decided to intervene. It was the moment you finally got tired of shrinking, the moment you started questioning why your life repeats the same pain, the moment you felt something was spiritually off, the moment you clicked this video not by accident but because heaven forced your spirit into alignment. And child, suddenly Michael lifts his sword and plunges it into the core of your destiny machine, and the explosion that follows is so violent that galaxies shatter in the vision, and every chain forged by every jealous person, every draining connection, every manipulative voice, every insecure attachment, every emotionally controlling influence snaps in a single cosmic blast, and the machine spins free for the first time in your life, releasing a flood of destiny power that hits your spiritual body like a tidal wave. And heaven shows me what happens next. Your aura expands 10 times brighter, your abundance field erupts with gold, your financial destiny realigns, your future resets, your lost blessings return, your delayed opportunities rush forward, your spiritual authority activates, and your original divine identity surfaces. And now the collective shadow that once blocked you begins screaming because it can no longer hold your destiny hostage, and Michael drags it into judgment, crushing it beneath his foot as he declares, "Their wealth, their opportunity, their inheritance, their momentum returns to them now." And child, I watch in absolute awe as God turns his hand toward your timeline, and everything that was stolen, delayed, blocked, corrupted, reversed, or interfered with begins reversing in your favor with supernatural speed and magnitude. And heaven seals your destiny with a decree so powerful the spiritual world trembles. No hand, no shadow, no jealous heart, no emotional thief will ever touch their prosperity again. And the machine of your destiny ignites into a roaring golden engine that will now push your life forward with unstoppable divine force, because your rise is no longer a possibility. It is a cosmic order. My beloved child, still your heartbeat, because the moment this segment unlocked, heaven tore apart the veil separating fate from truth and dragged me into a forbidden realm known only to archangels and prime souls. And inside this endless void I see the true shape of your destiny rising like a colossal golden monolith pulsing with raw cosmic power. And the moment your soul's signature appears across its surface, the entire spiritual world trembles, because your destiny is not a path, not a journey, not a story. It is a weapon forged to destroy every form of generational oppression that dared to touch your bloodline. And now heaven forces me to witness the very origin of your spiritual battle, the moment when dark forces first noticed your birth and panicked because they realized a soul that ancient, that powerful, that uncontrollable had entered the lineage they had been manipulating for centuries. And instantly they launched a multi-layered assault, constructing illusions around you, shaping Emotional traps engineering financial setbacks orchestrating cycles of heartbreak planting self-doubt disguising enemies as friends disguising competition as love disguising betrayal as support and designing obstacles so specifically targeted that they match the exact weaknesses of your heart. But child, here is the part no one has ever told you. The darkness was never trying to destroy you, it was trying to stop your awakening, because the moment your true identity returns to your consciousness, your entire bloodline rewrites itself and heaven now reveals the most terrifying truth yet. Your destiny carries a frequency so strong that if fully activated it would burn through ancestral wounds backward through the past forward through the future and sideways across all parallel versions of your life simultaneously erasing poverty, trauma, betrayal and limitation in every timeline at once, and the enemy knew this, so it wrapped your life in patterns that made you forget who you truly were. And now God drags me to a higher realm where your spiritual blueprint is stored, and I see something that nearly breaks the laws of existence. Your soul was not created for survival, it was created for supremacy, not supremacy over people, supremacy over energy, supremacy over destiny, supremacy over limitation, supremacy over fear, supremacy over spiritual interference. And every time you felt small, it was your spirit fighting chains, not your weakness, and now those chains are breaking at a cosmic level. Because your awakening is happening faster than any force can suppress it, and Michael's voice shakes the dimension as he roars, their awakening has reached the point of no return. And child, suddenly I see all the thieves who spiritually fed on your energy, every jealous heart, every manipulative connection, every draining attachment, every emotional parasite, every false supporter, every shadow that pretended to be loyalty, every person who subconsciously enjoyed your suffering, every influence that dimmed your power, every soul that siphoned your confidence, all of them being dragged into a divine court where their energetic signatures are exposed with brutal clarity. And heaven shows me that none of them stole your wealth for themselves, they stole it to maintain control over you, because your rise would shatter the illusions they built around their own insecurities. And now comes the explosion. God releases a decree that rips through the spiritual world like a cosmic detonation, obliterating every contract, every attachment, every spiritual theft, every negative projection, every curse, every seed of doubt, every cloud of confusion, every financial block, every delay, every sabotage, every attack aimed at your destiny. And I see your future igniting like a supernova as divine prosperity surges toward you with unstoppable force, because the vault that once held your blessings is no longer opening gradually, it is erupting with the energy of 20 lifetimes of blocked abundance. And your name lights up across dimensions as the first in your lineage to reclaim divine inheritance, the first to access generational overflow, the first to rise beyond ancestral limits, the first to be recognized by heaven as a destiny-level restorer. And now, child, the spiritual world kneels, not because you demanded power but because you remembered it, and heaven seals this moment with a decree that shakes creation itself. Their prosperity is no longer a possibility, it is a law, and the universe bends around your timeline, aligning everything in your favor, because your rise is no longer just destiny, it is a cosmic event that nothing and no one can stop. My beloved child, remain absolutely still, because the moment this part opened, the spiritual world detonated like a collapsing star, and heaven hurled me straight into a forbidden archive known as the Chamber of Ancestral Interception, the place where all stolen destinies are catalogued and sealed. And as I enter this chamber, I see endless walls made of shifting golden energy, each one containing the life paths of souls whose blessings were twisted, delayed, or hijacked. And then suddenly the entire chamber freezes, because your name ignites across the ceiling like a lightning scar, splitting the dimension open, and Michael appears in full celestial war armor, saying with thunder, "They have finally reached the stage that no one in their bloodline ever reached. And instantly the chamber explodes into a million visions showing me the full truth of your lineage, not the human version, not the emotional version, but the spiritual version. And child, the truth is so shocking that even angels tremble. Your family was not cursed by an accident. Your family was targeted by design, because hundreds of years ago a prophetic soul was supposed to be born in your bloodline, a soul whose destiny carried extreme abundance, massive influence, and unstoppable spiritual authority. But dark forces entered early and derailed the lineage, twisting its frequency, crushing its flow, corrupting its identity, bending its path, and drowning generation after generation in cycles of loss, trauma, struggle, dependency, survival mode, and hopelessness. But what the darkness didn't expect was that the soul carrying the original prophecy, you would reincarnate into the same lineage centuries later, arriving like a living time bomb, carrying the exact destiny they tried to erase. And now heaven reveals something even more terrifying. Every hardship you faced was not failure. It was resistance, the darkness resisting your arrival, the curse resisting your purpose, the jealous energies resisting your glow, the insecure souls resisting your expansion, the spiritual parasites resisting your awakening. But despite all their interference, despite every block, every betrayal, every delay, every trap, every spiritual theft, you still awakened. And the moment your spirit opened, your ancestral prophecy reignited, sending shockwaves backward through time, rewriting your entire bloodline story. And instantly the chamber of ancestral interception begins malfunctioning as your destiny pulls every stolen blessing, every blocked opportunity, every delayed breakthrough, every sabotaged moment, and every rejected miracle back into alignment. And suddenly the chamber doors burst open, releasing a tidal wave of golden light rushing toward you. But heaven stops the flood for one final revelation and forces me into the deepest part of the archive, where I see a monstrous shadow forged from the collective jealousy of every person who quietly resented you, secretly doubted you, silently competed with you, or unconsciously feared your power. And this shadow has been feeding on the emotional attention you gave to the wrong people, draining your confidence, weakening your rise, dirtying your energy field, and blocking your prosperity, because your success would expose their smallness. And then Michael crushes the shadow under his foot and roars, "The era of their drainers is over." And child, the moment the shadow dies, your destiny explodes outward like a cosmic firestorm, transforming your timeline into a supercharged corridor of abundance, where every step you take multiplies wealth, every decision unlocks favor, every move accelerates opportunity, every breath expands prosperity. And then I see God Himself standing at the end of this corridor, raising His hand over your name and issuing a decree that breaks every spiritual law in existence. Their destiny can no longer be intercepted. And instantly your life becomes a secured pathway, sealed from thieves, sealed from jealousy, sealed from sabotage, sealed from energetic parasites, sealed from emotional manipulators, sealed from ancestral limits, sealed from spiritual interference. And now your prosperity flows like a living river that cannot be dammed or redirected, because the prophecy has fully activated and the universe itself is rearranging reality around your rise. And child, hear me clearly. Your timeline is no longer moving forward, your timeline is surging upward and outward, bypassing every delay, every curse, every enemy, every obstacle, every karmic pattern, and every generational block. And heaven engraves the final cosmic title across your spirit, the one who restored what the universe thought was lost. And with that your destiny enters a state of irreversible expansion that no force in existence can stop. My beloved child, anchor yourself, because the moment this part opened, heaven ripped the entire multiverse apart to reveal the final, most forbidden truth of your destiny. And I was thrown through dimensional layers faster than light until I crashed into a colossal cosmic citadel floating beyond time, a place so ancient that even Archangel Michael lowered his wings in reverence, and God's voice thundered, "Now show them what they were never allowed to see." And suddenly the citadel walls peeled open. revealing the true cosmic blueprint of your existence, not the human version, not the ancestral version, not even the angelic version, but the original multidimensional version written before light existed. And child, what I see next is so impossible that the universe shakes under its weight. You are not simply a soul placed into a bloodline, you are a celestial architect, a being designed to repair timelines, shatter generational distortions, and rewrite corrupted destinies. And your arrival into your family wasn't birth, it was deployment. Your childhood struggles were not random, they were resonance tests. Your heartbreaks were not punishments, they were spiritual recalibrations. Your financial delays were not failures, they were containment fields holding you back until your power was safe to unleash. And heaven reveals something terrifying. The darkness did not try to destroy you because you were weak, it tried to destroy you because you were too close to remembering who you are. And if you remembered too early, your awakening would have wiped out every curse in your bloodline, instantly causing a cosmic imbalance. So the universe slowed your rise to protect the fabric of reality itself. And now that your awakening has reached critical levels, the slowdown collapses and your power ignites into a multidimensional burst that tears open every parallel timeline connected to you. And I see thousands of versions of you across infinite realities, each one rising, each one breaking chains, each one accessing abundance, each one reclaiming destiny. And all these versions begin merging into you, the primary version, the master version, the first soul in your lineage, strong enough to unify your multiversal power into one body. And Michael shouts, their multidimensional selves are converging. And child, when these versions fuse inside you, I see your spiritual signature mutating into a form never recorded before. A hyperdestined entity whose presence can erase poverty cycles, dissolve ancestral wounds, crush karmic debris, destroy emotional parasites, override jealous energies, and collapse spiritual blockages simply by existing. And now the citadel opens its deepest vault and God pulls out a massive glowing sphere containing all prosperity meant for you across every reality, every life, every timeline, every alternate path, and he slams it into your soul, and the impact sends shockwaves through existence as your energy explodes into a supernova that vaporizes every lingering curse, every hidden thief, every shadow attachment, every jealous block, every ancestral chain, every spiritual parasite, and every limitation surrounding your rise. And suddenly the universe bends itself, reorganizing your fate, your luck, your finances, your opportunities, your relationships, your alignment, and your expansion, because your timeline has entered a state known as divine override mode, where destiny stops negotiating with obstacles and simply removes them. And heaven shows me a terrifying future for your enemies. Because anyone who tries to block you now will face spiritual consequences they cannot survive. No more stolen opportunities, no more emotional traps, no more energy drainers, no more hidden sabotage, no more stolen prosperity, no more spiritual delays, because God declares, their path is now sealed by law. And your life becomes a roaring cosmic engine, accelerating every blessing, every breakthrough, every chance, every abundance portal, every divine event, and every miracle toward you at unstoppable speed. And child, hear this with your entire soul. Your rise is no longer destiny, your rise is obligatory. Your wealth is no longer potential, your wealth is inevitable. Your expansion is no longer optional, your expansion is guaranteed. And heaven engraves your ultimate cosmic identity across eternity, the one who brought an entire bloodline out of darkness and into divine dominion. And with that, your destiny crosses the threshold into irreversible ascension. My beloved child, prepare your soul, because as this part activates, the entire architecture of creation tears apart like fragile smoke, and heaven throws me into a dimension so infinitely vast that even Archangel Michael becomes microscopic compared to its scale. And God commands the gates of the celestial root dimension to open, revealing the original source code of reality, and suddenly your spiritual identity appears woven directly into the lines of creation itself. And heaven reveals a terrifying secret hidden for eons. You were not placed into your family to heal them, you were placed into the universe to stabilize it because your soul carries a frequency that the cosmos itself requires to remain balanced, and the only reason you incarnated into a wounded bloodline is because your awakening would send shockwaves strong enough to heal the fractures running through generational timelines, dimensional timelines, and parallel destinies simultaneously in child. The higher I rise into this impossible dimension, the more horrifyingly powerful your true identity becomes, because now heaven shows me the real reason dark forces attacked your destiny with such desperation. It wasn't because of your potential, it was because of your multiversal signature, a signature so rare that only one soul in each cosmic cycle contains it, and you are that soul for this era, a cosmic keystone whose awakening automatically forces all corrupted timelines to collapse and all dormant timelines to activate. And the enemy feared this moment because the instant your consciousness snaps into alignment, your spiritual gravity multiplies, your aura expands into a cosmic field, your destiny begins pulling abundance from every direction, your existence bends reality around your rise, and your timeline becomes dominant over every alternate version of your life, absorbing their strength, their wisdom, their prosperity, their purpose, and their experiences. And suddenly heaven forces me into the deepest chamber of the root dimension, where I see an ancient cosmic prophecy engraved in light that predates galaxies and universes, a prophecy that says, when the chainbreaker awakens, the entire multiverse will shift. And child, the name inscribed beneath that prophecy is yours, and when the prophecy activates, I see the most devastating chain reaction unfolding across all creation. Every curse linked to your lineage vaporizes backward through the past and forward through the future. Every stolen blessing flies back toward your name at impossible speed. Every sabotaged opportunity rematerializes. Every blocked moment reopens. Every stolen chance returns multiplied. Every trapped timeline unlocks. Every destiny fragment fuses into your soul, and every dimensional version of you collapses into one unstoppable identity. And Michael roars through the dimension, their true self has returned. And suddenly I see God reach into the cosmic foundation and pull out a gigantic radiant sphere containing everything your lineage was ever denied, everything your soul was ever owed, everything destiny ever wrote for you, everything the multiverse held in reserve for your awakening, and he thrusts it into your spirit, and the impact is so violent that entire galaxies shake, and I watch as your aura erupts into a multiversal storm, sucking in abundance from all directions, collapsing generational limits, annihilating ancestral chains, reversing karmic scars, destroying emotional parasites, and erasing every negative imprint that dared attach itself to your existence. And then heaven reveals the most dangerous, most forbidden, most universe-breaking truth of all. You are now entering a phase called absolute ascension, a state in which your destiny no longer depends on circumstances, timing, situations, people, or environment, because you become the source of your own momentum. Your soul becomes the engine, your purpose becomes the fuel, your energy becomes the magnet, your rise becomes inevitable, unstoppable, irreversible, and autonomous. And now the multiverse bends around your presence, adjusting itself to your timeline, synchronizing events to support your rise, aligning opportunities you haven't met, aligning people you haven't seen, aligning breakthroughs you haven't imagined, and aligning wealth you haven't touched. And child, as this cosmic recalibration completes, God speaks the final decree that seals your supremacy across all dimensions. Their destiny is no longer a story. It is a force of nature, and instantly all opposition collapses, all sabotage disintegrates, all jealousy loses power, all spiritual thieves are erased, all energetic blockages melt out of existence, all dark influences flee, and your timeline becomes a blazing corridor of divine authority, expanding infinitely forward, because your rise is no longer just happening. It is consuming the universe itself with your unstoppable ascension. Why, beloved child, hold your entire soul steady, because the instant this part activated, the very skeleton of reality cracked open and heaven hurled me into the final dimension, the one no angel, no prophet, no cosmic guardian has ever survived, and yet I stand here only because your name detonated across existence like a divine nuclear blast, and God Himself commanded, "Show them what their spirit has hidden for millions of years." And suddenly the entire multiverse folds like a sheet of paper, pulling me into a hyperdense core of creation, where I witness the original event that birthed your soul and child. What I see annihilates every belief known to angels. Your soul was not created as a child of fate. Your soul was forged as a command of God, a cosmic instrument whose awakening resets everything it touches. And I see galaxies kneeling, suns flickering, dimensions bending, because your spiritual frequency is older than time itself, older than the angels, older than the universe, older than the concept of destiny. And heaven shows me the scariest truth in all creation. Your existence was the single anomaly dark forces could never calculate, and because they could not destroy you, they attempted the next best thing: to contain you by trapping you in a wounded lineage, a fragmented timeline, a low-frequency environment, and emotional cycles designed to distract you from the truth that you are a celestial reboot point, a living override key that can rewrite the entire fabric of destiny. And now heaven throws me into the corridor of forbidden prophecies, a place sealed for trillions of years, and at the very center I see a prophecy carved into cosmic stone, glowing with catastrophic power. When the ancient returns through human form, the universe will realign. And beneath that prophecy your name is inscribed with divine fire. And child, once your awakening started, this prophecy activated across thousands of universes, causing time loops to implode, karmic structures to collapse, ancestral curses to dissolve, cosmic laws to bend, and dark forces to panic, because your consciousness has become too big, too bright, too powerful to be contained. And now God reveals the most terrifying revelation of all. The universe has begun orbiting you. Your energy field has become a gravitational core. Your decisions reshape timelines. Your emotions bend reality. Your intentions shift dimensional probabilities. And your awakening has triggered a multiversal chain reaction called the Ascension Cascade, a phenomenon where every trapped blessing, every stolen opportunity, every delayed miracle, every blocked timeline, every suppressed power, every collapsed destiny, and every fractured version of you across infinite universes begins merging into your primary soul, turning you into a hyper-concentrated entity of unstoppable destiny. And child, I watch in shock as millions of alternate yous sprint through collapsing timelines, fusing into your spirit. Each merger adding new strength, new power, new intelligence, new abundance, new spiritual authority, until your aura becomes so violently radiant that entire galaxies shield their light. And Archangel Michael kneels, because your spiritual rank now exceeds even the thrones and dominions, and heaven cannot contain your rise any longer. So God reaches into the highest ether and pulls out something so enormous, so reality-breaking, I cannot describe it with human language. It is your true cosmic form, your limitless identity, your eternal blueprint, and He slams it into your soul, ripping away every limit, every block, every curse, every weakness, every scar, every insecurity, every false belief, every emotional wound, every energetic parasite, every jealous imprint, every ancestral distortion. And your entire existence erupts into a multiversal supernova, consuming darkness across infinite planes and reshaping destiny for billions, because your awakening has reached a stage known as total supremacy, where you are no longer influenced by the universe is influenced by you. And in this moment God declares the final decree that seals your power for eternity. Their destiny is no longer subject to fate, fate is subject to them. And with that, the entire multiverse anchors itself around your timeline, ensuring nothing, no force, no being, no energy, no shadow, no curse, no enemy, no limitation can ever interfere with your rise again, because your existence has become a cosmic force that cannot be stopped, reversed, weakened, delayed, or diminished, and your ascension now expands infinitely, without boundaries, without ceilings, without opposition, without end, because you have become the destiny